60. The 12th related Discourse 18. The Discourse to Timbaruka. The Blessed One was staying in Savatthi. At that time, the wanderer Timbaruka approached the Blessed One. After approaching, he exchanged greetings with the Blessed One. After the exchange of friendly greetings, he sat down to one side. Seated to one side, the wanderer Timbaruka said to the Blessed One, Venerable Gautama, is pleasure and pain self-created? The Blessed One replied, Timbaruka, don't say that. Then, Venerable Gautama, is pleasure and pain created by another? The Blessed One replied, Timbaruka, don't say that. Venerable Gautama, is pleasure and pain both self-created and created by another? The Blessed One replied, Timbaruka, don't say that. Then, Venerable Gautama, is pleasure and pain neither self-created nor created by another, but arisen without a cause? The Blessed One replied, Timbaruka, don't say that. Venerable Gautama, does pleasure and pain not exist? The Blessed One replied, Timbaruka, it's not that pleasure and pain don't exist. Pleasure and pain do exist. Then, Venerable Gautama, do you not know or see pleasure and pain? The Blessed One replied, Timbaruka, it's not that I don't know or see pleasure and pain. I do know pleasure and pain. I do see pleasure and pain. Timbaruka said, Venerable Gautama, when I asked is pleasure and pain self-created, you said don't say that. When I asked is pleasure and pain created by another, you said don't say that. When I asked is pleasure and pain both self-created and created by another, you said don't say that. When I asked is pleasure and pain neither self-created nor created by another, but arisen without a cause, you said don't say that. When I asked does pleasure and pain not exist, you said it's not that pleasure and pain don't exist. Pleasure and pain do exist. When I said, then, do you not know or see pleasure and pain? You said it's not that I don't know or see pleasure and pain. I do know pleasure and pain. I do see pleasure and pain. Please, Venerable Gautama, explain pleasure and pain to me. Please, Venerable Gautama, teach me about pleasure and pain. The Blessed One said, Timbaruka, if one thinks the one who feels and the feeling are the same, then from the beginning one would say pleasure and pain are self-created. I do not say this. If a person is afflicted by feeling and thinks the one who feels and the feeling are different, then one would say pleasure and pain are created by another. I also do not say this. Timbaruka, the Tathagata, avoiding these two extremes, teaches the Dhamma by the middle way. With ignorance as condition, volitional formations arise. With volitional formations as condition, consciousness arises. Thus this whole mass of suffering arises. But with the remainderless fading away and cessation of ignorance comes cessation of volitional formations. With the cessation of volitional formations comes cessation of consciousness. Thus this whole mass of suffering ceases. Having heard this, the wanderer Timbaruka said to the Blessed One, Excellent, Venerable Gautama, I go for refuge to Master Gautama, to the Dhamma, and to the Sangha of Bhikkhus. From today let Master Gautama remember me as a lay follower who has gone for refuge for life. Into the 8th Discourse. This discourse contains profound philosophical reflections and wisdom. Let's analyze it layer by layer. 1. The nature of the question. Timbaruka's questions concern the nature and origin of pleasure and pain. This reflects humanity's eternal exploration of the essence of life. 2. The Buddha's response method. The Buddha demonstrates the complexity of the issue by negating a series of simplified explanations. This method, known as the tetralemma or four-corner negation, is a form of Buddhist dialectics. 3. The middle way. The Buddha avoids extreme views such as self-creation, creation by another, both, or causeless arising, embodying the middle way. This teaches us to avoid simplification and extremes when considering complex issues. 4. Dependent origination. The Buddha ultimately explains the arising and cessation of pleasure and pain using the law of dependent origination. This reflects the core Buddhist idea that all phenomena are interdependent and mutually influencing. The law of dependent origination is one of the core teachings of Buddhism, also known as the 12 links of dependent origination. This principle explains how all phenomena arise and cease in mutual dependence and influence. Here's a detailed explanation of dependent origination. 1. Basic concept. The core idea of dependent origination is, when this exists, that comes to be, with the arising of this, that arises. When this does not exist, that does not come to be. With the cessation of this, that ceases. This means that when a condition exists, its result appears. When this condition disappears, its result also disappears. 2. The 12 links. Dependent origination is usually described in 12 links. Ignorance, lack of understanding or misunderstanding of the Four Noble Truths. The Four Noble Truths are one of the core teachings of Buddhism, believed to be the first teaching given by the Buddha after his enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. The Four Noble Truths provide a framework for understanding and resolving the suffering in human life. Here's a detailed explanation of the Four Noble Truths. 1. The truth of suffering, dukkha. Basic meaning. Life is fundamentally characterized by suffering or unsatisfactoriness. Specific content. Birth, aging, illness, and death are suffering. Separation from loved ones, association with the unpleasant, and not getting what one wants are suffering. The 5 aggregates subject to clinging are suffering. Deeper understanding not only refers to obvious pain, but also to underlying dissatisfaction. Emphasizes the impermanence and imperfection of life. Modern interpretation, recognizing the inherent challenges and dissatisfactions in life. Accepting reality rather than avoiding or denying it. The 5 aggregates, Pankakanda, are a Buddhist analysis and description of the essence of human existence. Aggregate means heap or pile, indicating that these elements collectively constitute what we consider the self. Here's a detailed explanation of the 5 aggregates. 1. Form. Definition: matter or physical form. Includes 4 great elements: earth, solidity; water, fluidity; fire, temperature; wind, motion. 5 sense organs: eye, ear, nose, tongue, body. 5 sense objects: visible form, sound, odor, taste, tangible objects. Characteristics: visible, resistant, subject to change. Significance: represents our material existence and the basis of our contact with the external world. 2. Feeling. Definition: sensation or emotion. Includes painful feelings, pleasant feelings, neutral feelings. Characteristics: arises from contact between the 6 sense bases: eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, and external objects. Significance: represents how we experience and react to external stimuli. 3. Perception. Definition: recognition, cognition, or conceptualization. Includes identifying and categorizing external objects, forming concepts and impressions, memory and association. Characteristics: based on past experiences and learning to form cognition of things. Significance: represents how we understand and interpret the world. 4. Mental formations. Definition: volitional activities or mental formations. Includes thought patterns, willpower, habits and tendencies, emotional reactions. Characteristics: shapes our behaviors and karma. Significance: represents how our will influences our actions and future. 5. Consciousness. Definition: awareness or cognitive ability. Includes 6 types of consciousness: eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness, mind consciousness. Characteristics: ability to discern and know objects. Significance: represents our basic cognitive ability and stream of consciousness. Importance and deeper meaning of the 5 aggregates. 1. Non-self nature. Buddhism teaches that when we deeply analyze these 5 components, we find no permanent, unchanging self. 2. Interdependence. The five aggregates interact and influence each other, collectively constituting our experiential world. 3. Impermanence. All aggregates are constantly changing, with no permanent entity. 4. Root of suffering. Attachment to the five aggregates as I or mine is the root of suffering. 5. Tool for observation. By observing the operation of the five aggregates, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world. 6. Basis for practice. Many Buddhist practices are based on observing and understanding the five aggregates. Understanding the five aggregates has the following implications for our daily life and practice. 1. Self-knowledge. Helps us understand our composition more comprehensively. 2. Reduced attachment. Recognizing the impermanence of the self helps reduce attachment to it. 3. Emotion management. Understanding the workings of feeling and mental formations aids in better emotion management. 4. Cultivating mindfulness. Observing changes in the five aggregates can cultivate present moment awareness. 5. Path to liberation. Deep understanding of the nature of the five aggregates is an important step towards liberation. 6. Interpersonal relationships. Understanding that others are also composed of the five aggregates helps increase empathy and reduce conflicts. 7. Life wisdom. Understanding the five aggregates can help us make wiser life choices. Through deep understanding and observation of the five aggregates, we can gain deeper insights into ourselves and the world. This not only aids personal growth and spiritual practice, but also brings more peace and wisdom to daily life. The concept of the five aggregates reminds us that our existence is complex, multi-layered, and constantly changing. This recognition can help us face life's various challenges with a more open and flexible attitude. In modern life, understanding the five aggregates can help us. 1. Better cope with stress and anxiety. 2. Improve self-awareness and emotional intelligence. 3. Enhance interpersonal relationships and communication. 4. Cultivate deeper happiness and satisfaction. 5. Develop healthier lifestyles and mental states. In conclusion, the concept of the five aggregates provides us with a powerful tool for understanding and exploring our inner world, and through this understanding, improving our outer lives. Now, let's continue explaining the Four Noble Truths. 2. The truth of the origin of suffering. Basic meaning: the cause of suffering. Core concept: craving is the main cause of suffering. 3 types of craving: craving for sensual pleasures, craving for existence, craving for non-existence. Deeper understanding: the root of suffering is in our minds, not in external circumstances. Attachment and unrealistic expectations lead to suffering. Modern application: understanding how our desires and attachments affect our happiness. Reflecting on our motivations and behavioral patterns. 3. The truth of the cessation of suffering. Basic meaning: suffering can be ended. Core concept: nirvana, the complete extinction of greed, hatred, and delusion. Characteristics: not a negative disappearance, but a positive state of liberation. Transcends the cycle of birth and death. Deeper understanding: gives hope, indicating that liberation is possible. Emphasizes a complete inner transformation. Modern interpretation: pursuing inner peace and contentment. Cultivating a non-attached attitude towards life. 4. The truth of the path leading to the cessation of suffering. Basic meaning: the method to achieve the cessation of suffering. Core content: the Noble Eightfold Path. 1. Right view, correct understanding of the Four Noble Truths. 2. Right intention, thoughts free from harm and hatred. 3. Right speech, honest, beneficial speech. 4. Right action, moral, beneficial actions. 5. Right livelihood, ethical means of living. 6. Right effort, continuous, unwavering effort. 7. Right mindfulness, awareness of the present moment. 8. Right concentration, deep meditation. Characteristics: provides a comprehensive system of practice, covers wisdom, morality, and meditation. Modern application provides practical guidance for daily life, can be applied to personal development and mental health. Importance and far-reaching impact of the Four Noble Truths. 1. Systematic, provides a complete diagnostic treatment model, similar to medical methods. 2. Practicality, not only points out problems, but also provides solutions. 3. Universality, applicable to all people, regardless of race, culture, or religious background. 4. Introspective, encourages self-observation and inner exploration. 5. Liberating, points out that liberation is possible, giving hope and direction. 6. Non-religious, although originating from Buddhism, its principles can be applied in non-religious contexts. 7. Scientific, encourages verification through observation and practice, rather than blind faith. Understanding and practicing the Four Noble Truths can help us more clearly recognize the nature of life, find a root of inner suffering, cultivate healthier mental states, develop more meaningful and satisfying lifestyles, ultimately achieve inner peace and liberation. The Four Noble Truths are not just a philosophical thought, but a guide to life practice. They invite us to deeply observe our inner minds, understand our thought patterns and behavioral motivations, and thus make wiser choices in daily life, gradually moving towards greater freedom and happiness. This wisdom can help us face various challenges in modern life and find inner balance and satisfaction. Now, let's continue explaining the law of dependent origination. Volitional formations, mental activities, karmic actions, consciousness, cognition, awareness, name and form, mental and physical phenomena. 6 sense bases, 6 senses, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. Contact, the meeting of sense organs and their objects. Feeling, sensation. Craving, desire, attachment. Clinging, grasping, intense attachment. Becoming, state of existence. Birth, beginning of a new life. Aging and death, aging and death. 3. Cyclical nature. These 12 links form a cycle, with each link being the condition for the next, and the last link becoming the condition for the first, forming an endless cycle of rebirth. 4. Breaking the cycle. Buddhism believes that through enlightenment and practice, this cycle can be broken. Particularly, by eliminating ignorance, the entire chain can be broken. 5. 3 lifetimes, 2 sets of cause and effect. Dependent origination can also be understood from the perspective of 3 lifetimes: past, present, future. Past life, ignorance, volitional formations. Present life, consciousness, name and form, 6 sense bases, contact, feeling, craving, clinging, becoming. Future life, birth, aging and death. 6. Application and significance. Explanation of the origin of suffering. Dependent origination explains why there is suffering and how it arises. Theoretical basis for non-self. By showing that all phenomena are interdependent, dependent origination supports the Buddhist theory of non-self. Explanation of karma. Dependent origination explains how karma operates between different lives. Practical guidance. Understanding dependent origination can help practitioners identify and break patterns that lead to suffering. Middle way thought. Dependent origination avoids the extremes of eternalism and nihilism, embodying the middle way thought. 7. Modern applications. The idea of dependent origination has applications in modern psychology, ecology, and other fields. For example, it has similarities with systems thinking and the concept of interdependence in ecosystems. Understanding dependent origination is not just about recognizing Buddhist doctrine, but also a way of viewing the world. It encourages us to consider the interconnections between things and recognize how our actions affect ourselves and the world around us. This way of thinking can help us. 1. Cultivate greater empathy and sense of responsibility. 2. Better understand complex social and environmental issues. 3. Make wiser decisions in our personal lives. 4. Develop more peaceful and harmonious interpersonal relationships. 5. Enhance our respect for life and nature. Through deep understanding and application of dependent origination, we can cultivate a more comprehensive and harmonious worldview. This not only aids personal spiritual growth, but can also contribute to creating a more sustainable and harmonious society. Now, let's continue explaining the profound philosophical reflections and wisdom contained in this discourse. 5. The importance of knowledge and vision. The Buddha emphasizes that he knows and sees pleasure and pain, highlighting the importance of direct experience and wisdom, not just theoretical knowledge. Deep reflections. 1. Recognition of complexity. We often try to explain complex phenomena with simple cause and effect relationships, but reality is usually more complicated. How can we find effective solutions while acknowledging this complexity? 2. The wisdom of the middle way. In life, we often face binary choices. How can the Buddha's middle way help us find balance between various extremes? 3. Worldview of interdependence. If we truly understand that all phenomena are interdependent, how would this change our views and behaviors towards ourselves, others, and the environment? 4. The importance of direct experience. In an age of information explosion, how do we balance theoretical knowledge and direct experience to gain true wisdom? 5. The possibility of transformation. What can we learn from Timbaruka's transformation from questioning to taking refuge? How can we achieve such profound personal transformation in our daily lives? This discourse is not just an ancient teaching, but a mirror reflecting our understanding of life, pleasure and pain, and cause and effect. It invites us to 1. Deeply reflect on our lifestyle and values. 2. Re-examine our cognition and judgment of the world. 3. Cultivate an open, flexible way of thinking, avoiding falling into simplified binary oppositions. 4. Focus on direct experience and inner awareness, not just relying on external knowledge. 5. Recognize the possibility of personal transformation and practice in daily life. Through such deep reflection and practice, we may discover that true wisdom lies not in finding answers to all questions, but in learning to face life's various challenges and uncertainties with a more open and peaceful attitude. This attitude may be the key to inner peace and true freedom.